Hello, I'm Rob Thomas, editor-in-chief of Club and Resort Business, and welcome to another episode of the Club and Resort Talks podcast. I'm not going to waste too much time on today's news because I've got a good interview with Frank Weed, CEO of Panther National down in Florida. Big news coming out of there. That's the course designed by co-designed by Nicklaus and Justin Thomas. Some big names out there. Xander Schauffele is one of them. Alexi Thompson. They're ambassadors of the club, and they live right down there in the area. It's a beautiful setting. The golf course, spectacular. The clubhouse, which is they just broke ground on, is going to be spectacular. So let's not talk too much right now and wait for Frank Weed to tell us everything that's going on. But before I get to that, I want to tell you that today's episode of the Club and Resort Talks podcast is sponsored by Tropitone. Tropitone manufactures beautifully crafted, time-tested outdoor furniture for the world's most luxurious resorts and hotels. Since 1954, Tropitone has been a leader of high-quality outdoor furniture and decor. Products are manufactured to be commercial grade for hospitality, family, and club markets. Tropitone is headquartered in Irvine, California, with bi-coastal manufacturing in Irvine and Sarasota, Florida. Learn more at tropitone.com. With our sponsor taken care of, let's get to the news. Number one, right away. Palmetto Bluff is planning a new Coore Crenshaw golf course. Sited on approximately 500 acres in South Carolina Lowcountry, the estimated to open in the winter of 25-26. The yet-to-be-named golf course's first phase of construction will include the golf course, a maintenance facility, and temporary amenities with a clubhouse planned for a second phase. Beautiful property right down there. And the course itself is going to be designed first, and then the houses are going to be situated. It's not one of those situations where you have the houses going in there and hey, Coore Crenshaw, fit a golf course in here. No, so they're giving them a plot of land, and the residences are going to be secondary, which is going to be spectacular because Coore and Crenshaw do amazing work, of course. Next up, a bunker renovation elevates the golf experience at a Tennessee club, Holston Hills Country Club in Knoxville, Tennessee, enlisted Kris Spence and his team to improve bunker playability and drainage across the course. Spence and Superintendent Ryan Blair relied on careful study of old aerial photos, course maps, and Donald Ross's original drawings to preserve the integrity of the original design. There's a really cool video at Holston Hills Country Club's website talking about the before and after and the process going into it. And Ryan Blair really gives a good inside information on that one. And last but not least, happy birthday to our friends down at Meisner Country Club. The grand clubhouse at the club, a two-story hub designed in old world style, will soon undergo extensive renovations beginning in June 2025. This update will bring a fresh look and enhanced functionality to Meisner's gathering spaces, including the lobby, men's and ladies' bathrooms, 1 mile bar and grill, the dining room, new outside covered terrace, and kitchen upgrades. Would like to stress that that is not a 1 mile long bar. I talked to Mark Beto in a previous thing, and it's 1 mile from the road, the main road that goes into the clubhouse or into the club property. So it's not a mile long bar. That would be fantastic, though. Boy, it'd be tough to get service, I would imagine, if the bartender's down there waiting on somebody else, I don't know, a quarter mile away. So if you want your transfusion, you'd have to go for a little walk. But without further ado, let's get right to Frank Weed, CEO of Panther National. Hello, welcome back to the Club and Resort Talks podcast. I'm joined by Frank Weed, CEO of Panther National. Frank, welcome to the show.
Well, I'm very glad to be here. Thanks, Rob, for inviting me.
Well, thank you for being here. It's fantastic to have you. A lot going on down in Florida. Before we get into the meat and potatoes about the clubhouse, I know you guys just broke ground. Can you give us a little 10,000-foot view of what Panther National is all about?
Sure. Well, Panther National is the first golf development in 20 years in Palm Beach County. A lot of, obviously, know a lot of great golf here, over 175 golf courses in Palm Beach County. But this is the first residential golf community, and I've done many of them here over the years. It's 400 acres, a very private community, 27 holes of golf, 18 holes we call the Big Cat, done by Jack, Justin, and Dominik Senn. A beautiful 9-hole course, which we use somewhat as a match play course. So if you beat me on the hole, you get to pick the next tee and which one we're going to go to, etc. This one is very striking because we have almost 80% of the infrastructure in place, and we have sold 325 million in 2 years. Very popular. Our houses range from 4.5 million to 20 million. Most of our buyers are, all our buyers are golf centric because of our extraordinary golf experience.
So this is I think it's Justin Thomas's first foray into design.
It is. Jack compares it to when Jack did Harbor Town and asked, and he said, "Well, I'll do it if you let Pete Dye do it with me." So he said, "I learned from Pete." And in this sense, and by the way, Jack is the one who suggested Justin. They're friends, and Dominik knew him because of his golf experience also. And it became it was a great triumphant in many ways. And Justin added a lot of the very contemporary aspects of the club relative to the landing areas for the big boys, the big players.
You talk about big players and some of the ambassadors. I see that along with Justin, I saw Xander was down there, Cameron Young, I believe, and another young fella. His name's escaping me right now.
Nick Dunlap,
Nick Dunlop.
new young star, but we also have Lexi Thompson, who is a real treat to be around. I think she's practicing more now that she's about to retire, but she's doing a lot of corporate outings, and what a lovely, lovely lady. But we also have Morgan Hoffman and Camilo Villegas and Eric Van Ruin. But not most importantly, but our latest is that Victor Hovland has bought a home here.
Holy cow. Okay, so you talk about big boys, you're talking about some of the biggest boys in the game. That's fantastic.
Yes.
So I know a lot of clubs, 99% of the clubs out there right now would love to be in your position where you're starting from scratch. You got a blank canvas on this clubhouse. These people are strapped with their clubhouses and making, the best they can do. How does the design of this clubhouse, particularly features like the Rock and Crystal Room, align with Panther National's overall brand and vision?
Well, that's a great question, and it emits from Dominik and Dorte Senn's European roots. Dominik being Swiss and Olympic downhill skier for Switzerland, and Dorte is from Denmark. And although you have the great historical towns there, most of the architecture is contemporary in today's world. So when they came to the United States almost 9 or 10 years ago, they wanted to live in a community that had those contemporary aspects and couldn't find one. So Dominik made the decision to do a community that he wanted his family to live in. So it took quite a while to find the right site in the right location. He did find it at Panther National and started about 4 years ago putting things together, buying the land, getting the partnerships together, um, and starting with Max Strang, our inspirational architect, designing homes. And then during that same process, designed the clubhouse, which is really unlike, you might see a few aspects of it, Rod, over in Palm Springs, the contemporary look, but this is that on steroids. Um, this 58,000 square foot building, but there's no ballroom. It's intended to be a great hang, lots of lounges. Some of the architecture is inspired not only by Max, but kind of the finest hospitality hotels in South Beach and et cetera. So it's going to have a real contemporary feel, but the whole idea is that you can have We respect I, being in golf all my life. Um, it's got the aspects of traditional honoring golf, but also a cool place. So we have music on the golf course. You can play casually out there. We play fivesomes, et cetera. Yet we still respect the aspects of what golf is all about.
No, it's a beautiful thing. You mentioned Palm Springs. That's exactly what I thought of when I first saw some of the renderings, but with like a wow factor. That was off the chart. So good on you. I know that you, in addition to Max Strang, working with our friends from Peacock and Lewis and
Yeah.
Designers Unlimited, you have three varying, I mean, big designers coming together. How do their unique perspectives shape the final design?
Well, it's interesting. My background is having done I've done over 14 communities with golf courses, et cetera. And you're always combining and you're trying to get the best out of each. Uh, Max inspired the style and understands how to build extraordinary large homes. And this, in many ways, is a large home. He's done homes as large, almost as large as this clubhouse. Peacock and Lewis is not only a great design architect, but in this case, they worked very closely with us on the attributes of building a clubhouse that's functional. So they understand where people go within the rooms and how much space you need and how it feels and ceiling heights and the right lighting. And we're using a custom German lighting system called Ochio, which is going to be terrific. And then Decorators Unlimited, who's been in the business almost 30, 40 years, um, not only has done clubs, but is redoing clubs, et cetera. But they also work with some of the great developers in Florida, doing design centers and lobbies, et cetera. So it's a nice combination of all three.
So you're still a year and a half or so away from unveiling this beautiful work of art. What do you think? What particular amenities or design elements you think are going to really resonate with your members?
Well, one of the things that we did already is build a $4 million temporary village. Uh, so we've already put in a restaurant, a pro shop, locker rooms, valet area, and our driving range on the golf course is there is nothing like it in the world, and I've played a lot of them. Um, and it's just unique. And it was built to service not only folks like myself with a medium handicap, but also the to be a professional training facility. I'm about to build the racket center. We'll start the performance training center in the spring. So those two elements will actually precede the clubhouse. Now, in the clubhouse, we've put a gymnasium, workout facility, working with Technogym, and then we will build a spa in the same community next door to the clubhouse. So we're going to provide elements. We only have 242 homes in the community, but we'll provide elements for everyone to really enjoy it, both from a wellness standpoint, tennis, racket, swim, and an extraordinary golf experience.
Uh, uh, the environment obviously is a huge component of golf courses. Some people say it's bad. Others say, hey, golf is fantastic for the environment, and the superintendents are doing wonderful things to not only maintain but improve the environment. How does Panther National's commitment to environmental national or modernism is how's that reflected in the design of the clubhouse?
Well, I haven't seen a clubhouse like this
Yeah.
in many ways. Lots of glass, lots of contemporary aspects, and you mentioned the rock and our what we call our. It's an extraordinary building because it's going to reflect in some ways the Matterhorn. I mean, it has the shape, and it was taken from that. Private bar, private dining, very specific uses in that. Um, and then we have an outdoor facility with fire pits and gathering areas. We also have an event lawn for bigger events. And then in the clubhouse itself, we have skylights. We have a living, wall inside. Um, and but everything will be very contemporary, very sleek, within not only our founders' lounges, but our men and women's lounges and all the social spaces that we're creating. One of the things is that in our golf shop, it's not a golf shop, it's a fashion shop. So we're using I don't want to get into the brands, but we have brand partnerships, which we will announce, and they are the finest in the world. Um, so that's an aspect that you wouldn't normally see in a golf shop. And part of that is because of Dominik, having represented many brands in his skiing world. Um, those are the types of people we're dealing with.
I don't think I'm divulging anything, but I do understand there's gonna be some a Swiss watch involvement in here, so
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
not typical for a pro shop, obviously.
Well, I told him we should sell skis.
Well,
So it'll be watches and fashion. I mean, it won't be just a shirt.
yeah.
You'll look like you're shopping in Rodeo Drive, Worth Avenue, et cetera, but yet you can still get a polo and still play. You can still get a Panther t-shirt and play. So, our brands are the significant brand. One of the brands we're very involved with is Grayson because Dominic's very close to them. And Justin and Morgan Hoffman are uh, involved with those brands.
I've got a Grayson quarter zip I wear on the golf course, and I love it. So
Yeah.
you're not minimalizing anything there.
Yeah, with Charlie Schaefer founded Grayson. He's just really, really talented. The only problem is he went to Duke and I went to Carolina.
Oh, hey, little rivalry right there. I like it.
Right.
Especially this
Exactly.
time of year. Now you're getting into it.
Right.
So very good. Good luck for you guys. Duke's kind of fallen a little bit. So Carolina might have some bragging rights this year after all. Cooper Flag might not be everything they're saying he's going. So I don't
No,
know. I digress.
I had the Carolina golf team here. Dominik helped me sponsor them, brought in all 12 guys and, several Walker Cuppers, and it was great to do it. And we're very active in that, by the way. We have a lot of junior golfers who are going to go to college, and a number of our buyers have bought here because of the golf training aspect. Tom Dyer, who is our director of golf, is extraordinary, has a great teaching background. We have directors of instruction, both in the men and women's side. And it's interesting, our course, even though we go back to we go to 8,000 yards and down to, mid 4,000, the course is very playable for all levels of golf. Um, and, very large fairways, beautiful elevations. You feel like you're playing on a private hole almost in every hole. So it's a really wonderful pastoral experience because we're next to a 2,400 acre preserve, which will not be developed.
Wow, that's spectacular. Before we get off of the golf topic, I don't know if you can tell this Roback quarter zip right here is state of Ohio, and Jack's got some pretty good ties to the Ohio
Yes.
State University. Let's not mention Justin's ties to Alabama. But okay, so you're going to spend probably more time at this clubhouse than you do at your own home. And a lot of your members are going to spend an awful lot of time at the clubhouse. What feature are you most excited about personally?
Well, within the club itself, it really is a club that will allow you to kind of experience the day. One, we have a running course within our community. We have a gymnasium, so you can work out and you can do the Pilates and the steam, and of course, cold plunge and all the new things. And it'll be something new 2 years from now. Our food is going to be extraordinary. We're being inspired by Andreas Caminata, the best chef in Switzerland, one of the top Michelin three-star chefs in the world, who is a great friend of Dominic's. And our staff will train with him in Europe, and their staff will come over and work with us during the wintertime. So it'll be a great experience. You can still get a great cheeseburger. Oh, I was going to mention downstairs, our halfway house, where you come in halfway or you come afterwards, is actually a bistro. So there'll be chocolates and special coffees, but you can still get your cheeseburger and fries, et cetera. So it's just kind of a complete program. We'll have childcare and all the things that, to cater to our clientele. I've been involved with a lot of very high-end organizations. I was with Montage before coming here. And, there's nothing that our client can't ask us that we won't fulfill.
So you piqued my interest when you mentioned about a Swiss Michelin star chef, but you had me at the cheeseburger and fries. So
All
I'm
right.
there regardless. I imagine this clubhouse is going to fit seamlessly in with the community. Then the houses, the clubhouse. It's not going to look like it's not going to be out of place by any means.
No, well, it's a continuation really of the architecture of the homes. Our average homes are 7,000 square feet, so this is just five of those in a way.
Sure.
We've using a lot of natural stone, a lot of great windows. I mean, most of our doors and windows are 14 feet high. It's going to live really well. One of the things that we did is made sure we shaded the outdoor areas so it's comfortable. Our golf course is open approximately 9 months of the year. We will close because our intention is that we maintain the course at an absolute five-star level. We don't have starting times. We're going to keep the membership very light, 275 members max. So our goal is to be sure that you can come out and get a game, but you can drop your ball and go. And on our deck, on the club, you have a great view of hole 6, 9, and 18. So you can actually play 1 through 6, or you can take off on 7 and play 7, 8, 9, or you can get, so there's combinations that go out on the course very comfortably.
Any chance America or the world is going to chance to see this on TV with Justin and Spieth, maybe team it up to play somebody else in the match?
That would be the only way it would be seen. We will never have, and I've done several major tournaments in my communities. Um, and although it'd be a pleasure to host them, and in a previous life, I hosted two NCAA championships, both men and women. So that's kind of what fits better for us, where you might have a few hundred folks joining. We're talking to people about U.S. Open qualifying and amateur qualifying, both for men and women and et cetera. But our exhibition so far, just like the other day, was, four of our ambassadors. And we like keeping it quiet and private. The golf course is not accessible without a referral.
So Jay Monahan shouldn't knock on the door and say, "Hey, the PGA Tour would love to host." Hold off on that right now.
Yeah, we'll just look through the slit at it. Let me turn it back.
All right. Well, hey,
He's a good guy, but yeah, it's a private golf course.
beautiful, beautiful. Now we had mentioned fall of 2026 for the clubhouse, and you had said the Racket Center, Lifestyle Club, going to be coming on. What kind of timeline do we have for those in between now and the clubhouse?
So Racket Center will be open next fall. Performance Training Center will be open the first of 26, probably first quarter. Clubhouse will be finished the third quarter of 26, and the Lifestyle Center will be ready the fall of 27. And it really coordinates with um, our residents moving in. We have 50 homes underway now. We'll get another 40 going this next year, another 40 after that. So we want to deliver the amenities when we have people. Not fun to be in a clubhouse and there's three tables. But I can tell you our Panther Village, which we've built now, and we'll use that for 2 years. It's a harbinger of what the club's going to feel like.
So your residents, are you envisioning, I mean, some are going to be 12-month residents, some are going to be snowbirds. What are we looking at as far as people living there?
Well, we'll have both, but the majority will be second, third, or fourth homes for our clientele. Our clientele is international. We have buyers from number of countries. Um, the majority are Boston to Philadelphia. We've had several buyers from south of us, Boca Raton, Delray, move up north. I mean, those areas have traffic issues now, I've developed in those areas for a long time. We have several California buyers, have a family from Scottsdale. So, they've found us because Panther National is such an extraordinary golf program. Um, it's not public yet, but we've been selected recently, as one of the top 5 residential golf communities in the country. And Golf Digest will come out very soon with a rating on where we sit on the new private clubs. So we're just getting rated now. But
Congratulations on that. It's big
we
news.
have a lot of people visiting us from that standpoint.
I bet. And you're only going to get bigger, obviously, with as far as recognition goes. Small as far as intimate and boutique, but massive as far as recognition. So you guys have been in the news now for a year plus, couple years now, as far as speculation, the golf course, now the clubhouse. I want you to look 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. Grab your crystal ball if you would. We're going to get you out on this question. What do you see off into the future beyond what you and I have talked about? Do you see anything else coming up?
For the Panther organization.
Right, yeah, for
Oh,
Panther National.
well, Panther National will be finished in 5 years.
Mhm.
Well, with 218 single-family homes and 24 villas, we will be done. The demand in Palm Beach County is the best real estate market in the United States. An inordinate amount of people moving from the Northeast because of tax issues in California. So they're coming. We're just getting our market share of that group. And their waiting list for all the very fine clubs like ours. So we can be selective and kind of who can join. The Panther organization, we've already been approached about taking our brand, which we're very proud of, to other locations. But let's get this one buttoned up.
All right, hey, no hurry, right? We got you. We don't want to push it any faster than he's got to go. Fantastic. Frank Weed, thank you very much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. Really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you here at Panther.
I'm coming.